So I'm about to record a video, and as you can see, I've got a little boo-boo I need to cover up. And I don't know how successful I'm going to be at it. Everybody's going to be asking questions, so I figured I should just do a video and explain what's going on here. So long-time viewers of the channel, and I mean very long-time viewers of the channel, are familiar with the fact that from time to time I have to treat places on my body. And it's funny to me because I get people from time to time that say things about like my skin condition. They're like, I'm sorry about your skin condition or whatever. And it's like, it's not a condition. It's just, it's sun damage. Is sun damage a condition? Maybe. But it's not like some kind of genetic deformity or anything like that. So I go and see my dermatologist every 6 months. I am very pale, as I've made jokes about many times. And when I was a kid, I played a lot of tennis. I went to tennis camps, and like most kids, I thought I was going to live forever, so I didn't wear the sunscreen that I was supposed to. So yeah, I got a lot of sun damage on various places, and so them chickens coming homes to roost, y'all. But no, I go every 6 months to see my dermatologist. She looks me over, and most of the time there's nothing. Every once in a while there's a spot that might need to be frozen off or whatever. But yeah, a couple weeks back, went to see her. She looked at that spot. She said, I don't like that. So she gave me some stuff to put on it. And I thought I would just kind of explain what it is and what the stuff is. And for anybody who's curious and maybe has dealt with this themselves, this might be helpful to you. I don't know. The first thing I want to get across is you don't need to worry about me. I'm fine. I'm not in any danger. I might look like somebody hit me in the face with a bat that has nails hammered into it, but okay, future Joe here, as I'm editing this, I just have to like interject a little bit because I thought it looked bad then. I thought it looked bad then. This isn't melanoma. So let's just step back a second. There's 3 different types of skin cancer that is most prevalent. There's the melanoma, which is the malignant skin cancer that can metastasize in your body, and that's the stuff that's deadly. It'll kill you. There's squamous cell skin cancers and basal cell skin cancers. They're just kind of like different types of non-malignant skin cancers. They are not deadly, but if you don't treat them, they can be disfiguring over time. And I think there is a tiny percentage chance that those can become malignant. So it's better to take care of them before they get worse. And that's what this is. This is a tiny spot that she found. Didn't like what she saw, so she gave me this stuff. It's called a miquimod, and what it is, I mean, it's kind of interesting if you're into this kind of thing. It's sort of an what would you call it? Immunotherapy. It basically turns your body's immune system against the damaged cells. So that's what's going on right now. I put this stuff on, and it just like turns your body's immune system against it, and just starts eating away at it, and it forms a nice little scab, and it just looks gnarly. When it comes to skin cancer stuff, any kind of cancer stuff, it's all about early detection and early treatment. I'm doing this so that later on I don't have to have surgery, what they call a Mohs procedure. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a way to cut out a circular area of your skin. Specifically, they have to go through and like they have to make sure and get every single cell of pre-cancer, cancerous stuff. They have to get every single cell or else it will just come right back. So they got to dig a lot more than you think they would. And in order to close a circular hole, they actually have to cut, they actually have to cut like triangles on either side of it and take that skin out and then suture it together. I have had this done before. It was done like right here in my early 30s, I want to say. And it's like, you can't really see it unless you're looking for it. Of course, I'm looking for it, and there's like a little divot in my head. Long story short, I did not realize how bad those surgeries can be. I should also point out that this is, there's a lot of this in my family. My mom has had many of these done before. And it's intensive stuff. So the earlier you can catch it, the more you can treat it with something like this, the less you have to actually go through surgery. So that's what this is. I haven't had to do this in a while. It's probably been like 5 years or so since I've had this done. But of course it causes a problem in my videos because it's, I could just record videos like this and people would just have to get used to it, I guess. It's not, is it a vanity thing that I want to cover this up? a little, of course. I've gotten to the point now where I'm wearing hats. I'm a hat guy for a little while. I wear a baseball cap when I go out now, just so that people don't have to look at it. It's really more that. It's not so much that like, oh, I don't look good. It's that just who wants to look at that, you know? Just cover it up. I thought I looked bad. That's so adorable. I thought I looked bad back then. So what I'm about to decide right now, I'll get to it in a second. I'm going to try to cover it up with the scant makeup that I have. And yes, I do put on a little bit of powder whenever I do my videos just to smooth out my skin. I made jokes about how splotchy my skin is, but it's heightened a bit on camera. Like I'm not as splotchy in real life as I am on camera. The colors of the camera just kind of heighten that a little bit. So I smooth out my skin. I get, the circles out from under my eyes. It's basic stuff. I don't spend a lot of time on it. But I don't know if it'll be enough to cover this up. I'll try it in a second and see. I might wind up wearing hats for a while in the videos. I will say these treatments are very humbling. Anytime I start to feel good about what I look like, this definitely puts the kibosh on that. Sometimes you don't know how big the kibosh can be. I did this once before. This was in the early days of the channel. You can find videos that I've made about it. But I did it before, and I kind of treated my whole face with it. And holy Lord, I turned into Pizza the Hut. The worst part about it, I had some spots on the side of my face that I could grow my beard and you wouldn't see it quite as much. And I had some up here that I could put a hat on, you wouldn't see it as much. But I had some on my nose that just turned my entire nose. It looked like I got stranded on Mount Everest or something, right? I had this horrible thing on my nose. And at the time, there was no way to cover that up. Like, unless I wore a balaclava or something and walked around, and then everybody would run when they saw me. But one of the funny things about COVID was when everybody was wearing masks, I was like, it's too bad I didn't get that treatment done when everybody was wearing masks, because that would have covered it up, and nobody would have known anything about it. And actually, one of the times that I did this treatment, I think it's on this side. It's either here or here. I forget which side it was on. It's covered up with the beard right now, but there's kind of a permanent scar there because I kind of overdid it. I didn't kind of overdo it. The instructions were to put it on every 2 days. I thought it was I thought it was twice a day, but it was every 2 days. This stuff I'm being told to put on 5 times a week, Monday through Friday for 6 weeks, and I'm 2 weeks into it right now. And usually the worst damage is at the beginning because that's when it's kind of doing everything as it's destroying all these cells. As time goes on, there's fewer cells to destroy. So it gets a little bit better. So by the time this is done, it won't look quite this bad. Hopefully this is the worst it's going to look, but... I thought it wouldn't look as bad. But anyway, let's do my makeup routine, guys. Suddenly I'm a makeup channel. I have a friend who is a makeup person for film and TV stuff. Very good friend of mine. And she gave me this, what even is this? Oh, Iredale Mineral Cosmetics Limited. Maybe this is stuff that like stage people use. But it's just a little powder. And I got a little brush here. Do a little bit of this. And let's see. Do we want to zoom in closer? Kapow! I'm literally using this as a mirror right now. Should I use my left hand? It's kind of hard. Everything's backwards on my screen. Hang on. Is this gonna do anything? Little bit. See, and this is the thing. I gotta like smooth it all out here. It says, "Get ready with me." Yeah, usually when I do the makeup, I put it across my forehead because it's all splotchy, and I get under my eyes right here. Nothing fancy. Sometimes I'll get on my nose and on the side. Now, I could be doing a lot more than this. In fact, I've been prodded to do so by people on my team. So, I think in a wide enough shot that won't look too bad. I'm pushed in really tight here. I'm not this tight on my regular camera. Anybody who's wondering, by the way, this doesn't hurt. It itches a little bit sometimes. It's just kind of a scab. It does have one other interesting side effect when I apply this stuff, is that it gives me, well, it makes your immune system kick in. So I do feel a little bit sick, like halfway sick. My my throat nodes are a little bit swollen. I tend to get canker sores whenever I get sick, so I've got a couple of them right now. A lot of fun. And my nose is running. It's like I've got like a quarter of the flu or something. Or maybe after you get like a flu shot, you're not really sick, but your body is working stuff out, and you kind of feel a little blah for a day or two. I kind of feel like that. And I guess I will be feeling like that for the next 4.5 weeks. Hang on. Let's switch cameras, see what it looks like in this one. Maybe I could smooth that out a little. But anyway, so ironically, we're finally starting to ramp up a little bit on the channel, and I'm finally starting to get some new videos put out, scripted, ready to go. So I'm going to be recording stuff more so than I have been with this big shiner on my forehead. No, I'm not going to be recording videos with that big shiner on my forehead. I'm going to be recording them with this. Yeah, I know I'm doing a lot of teases. If you want to stick around to the end and see exactly what's going on here, just stick around. But anyway, no need to keep going on this. I just wanted to do a quick video to let everybody know what's going on. You don't need to worry about me. This is a good thing. This is a very good thing. Not that good of a thing. Best case scenario from this, it wipes it all out, and you have no idea that anything ever happened. Mid case scenario, I might have a little like white spot there, that a little scar that needs to heal. And worst case scenario, this doesn't get all of it, and I wind up having to go in and get a little Mohs procedure, which would be a lot more intensive. But at least doing this, it would get rid of most of the cells, so that when I do the Mohs procedure, it might not be as extensive. Yeah, none of those scenarios came to pass. I wound up in option D. And by the way, I just wanted to address something, because I've seen other people talk about this, that there's some people who think that wearing sunscreen actually causes skin cancer. And that is not how this works. I wanted to address this real quick. First of all, I will acknowledge one thing. I think that people do tend to put on sunscreen and think, I'm protected. And then they stay out in the sun way longer than they normally would. And this leads to extra skin damage that turns into stuff like this later on. I think there is something to that. Just to back up real quick, there have been higher numbers of skin cancer in the last 10 years or so. And so some people are making the argument that, well, because you're wearing sunscreen, you're having more skin cancers. That is one of these correlation, not causation things. For one thing, we are actually living in a weirdly hatless time in history. If you look back, starting maybe in the 60s or so, going forward or going backward from there, most people wore hats. Like look at any old footage from the 30s or the 20s or something like that. Everybody's wearing hats outside. Everybody. Hats kind of fell out of fashion in the 60s and 70s. And so, yeah, you're going to see more suntan. I mean, sunscreen is good. It's not as good as a hat. But the main point, much more important to cover here, is that sun damage just takes a really long time to become skin cancer. I can tell you that over the last 15, 20 years or so, I wear sunscreen anytime I go outside for more than 10 minutes. In fact, I wear moisturizer that has sunscreen in it. I don't spend a lot of time outside. I haven't been playing a lot of tennis over the last 15, 20 years or so. All of this sun damage that I'm dealing with, it was all stuff that happened when I was a kid. And so if you're seeing an increase in skin cancers right now, it's because of sun damage that people got back in the 80s. And I was there. I can tell you what people were doing in the 80s. If you go back and watch commercials from the 80s, you can see all these like Bain de Soleil. I remember that. Bain de Soleil sun tanning lotion. People didn't wear sunscreen. They wore sun tanning lotion. I had an aunt who literally would just rub baby oil on her and go outside and just cook herself. Like a deep, dark tan was like the thing. Everybody wanted it. Every summer, all the girls and the guys too would just go out and just lay out in the sun and get as much sun as they could. It was actually believed that it was good because you got vitamin D out of it. Like you had to go out and get some sun. And actually, there's something to that. I mean, Getting a little bit of sun is good for the soul. It's good for vitamin D production, but obviously vitamin D can be gotten through supplementation, which I do. But yeah, all these skin cancers that you're seeing today, it's not because of all the sunscreen people are wearing now. It's because of all the sunscreen they didn't wear 30, 40 years ago. Myself included. I fully expect at some point I'm going to have to do my nose again because there was, oh my God, there was one year that I went to tennis camp. And I don't know if I just forgot to put on some sunscreen or I was just being stupid, but my nose got so burnt that like the top layer of skin just peeled right off. And I'm not talking about like a sunscreen peel where it's like, ew. And I mean like it was gnarly. It kind of looked like this, you know, it was like crusted over. The fact that I've only had to do a treatment on my nose once is actually really surprising. I'm sure I'm going to have to do it again. And maybe this time I'll wear a mask. Maybe it's not as weird to wear a mask as it was before the pandemic. But anyway, it's about as good as I can get it for right now, so I'm just going to go record my video. I wanted to do this to let you guys know what's going on. Please don't worry about me. It's fine. It's not a condition. It's just poor choices when I was young, which I think we all have that condition. But I'll just end this by saying, guys, wear your sunscreen, especially if you're young. Don't let this happen to you. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. All right, okay, I'll tell what happened. So when I recorded that, I was about 2 weeks into it. It's about a week later, and there's been, it's gotten a lot worse. I'm going to reveal it. I'm giving you trigger warning, content warning, whatever right now. It's gross. It's really, I'm just giving you a heads up. But yeah, over this last week, it got, worse and worse to the point that the last few days I've had this constant headache. And I wasn't quite sure why. And when I woke up this morning, you can see how swollen it is. See how red and swollen that is right there? It's infected. It got infected. So I have some antibiotics on the way, and I'm going to be dealing with that. But my doctor did tell me I don't have to take it. I don't have to do it anymore. It did what it needed to do. The damage is done. And yeah, if you want to see that damage, I'm really debating whether or not I want to actually leave this up for people to see. By the way, I have to do this Band-Aid in a certain way. I have to like leave a gap there so that it can breathe, because if it doesn't, it like the scab gets attached to the Band-Aid and then I rip it off, which is not fun. So this shouldn't rip off because it's kind of over it. All right. This is what it looks like now. I thought it looked bad last week. This is what it looks like now. And you can see again how like red it is all around there. And it's a full-on infection. And it's like this whole side of my face is like sore and achy. And I just thought that my lymph nodes were swollen before. They're really swollen now. Anyway, this is why I will be wearing hats in a few videos going forward, but I am done with it. It's just going to be healing now, and as soon as I get some, hi Zoe. As soon as I get some antibiotics, this should get a little bit better. But anyway, as I was editing it, I was looking at it, and it really didn't look that bad, and I thought people would be watching and be like, dude, it didn't look that bad. Well, it doesn't compared to what it actually looks like now. I just felt like I should show you. It's gnarly. I don't wish this on anybody. Anyway, there you go. I'm still okay. This could have gone better. Not feeling great, but don't worry about me. I'm okay. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to go lay down and take a nap. Bye.